Thank you to all the farmers and to the promotion board for the support on this breeding project that we get significant funding for us to operate. It's a key project that we have to develop varieties that farmers can actually deploy and use. It's where we do all the actual active breeding for variety development and where all the fun happens. We actually are excited. A little bit of an update for this particular year is we are having a new release of an indeterminate group 5 Roundup tolerant line. It's a foundation release, so it's a step in the right direction. It's still a mid 5, but it has the indeterminate trait that I think it has a lot of value in particular areas, especially as you're dealing with stress or as you move south in the state. And again, it's a line that it's about almost 5 bushel better than the previous 5.4 release from the University of Arkansas. The foundation, it's being produced this year, so it's a 2020 foundation, will be available by the end of the season. Regarding group 4 breeding, because that's a big chunk of what we're trying to do, we have moved our program to about 60% group 4s already. The goal was to be at about almost 3/4 by 2021. So we're making progress. We have 3 group 4 varieties in variety testing in Arkansas and in the Mid-South. It takes about 10 years to get from the moment you make a cross until you get a finished line. We're trying everything we do to speed up the process. And like I said, we have some materials that are already at the tail end of the pipe, and we're having some high hopes. We were blessed to have not all the eggs in the same basket this season where we had this pandemic. And so by being able to use some of the resources we have been deploying to Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, Chile, and the US, all through the sponsorship of the promotion board, we were actually able to remove or minimize some of the risks of what we're trying to do. So we're not only trying to speed up our processes, but we're also at the same time trying to ensure that everything we do gets to the end, because the biggest fear we had was, would we be able to plant this season, or would we be able to harvest this season? And by being able to work on different parts of the world, you're trying to minimize those risks. This year, we have been able to send to the nematology lab in Hope a set of lines that were in the most advanced breeding stages. And the goal is to get those finish lines characterized for root knot especially, but for all of the nematodes that they do the profile. In the future, we would hope to be able to have markers. We don't have them at this moment, but we would hope to be able to have markers to be able to move our selections earlier in the breeding program. So if it takes 10 years to get a product and we only characterize the tail end, that is what we are currently doing, that is cost effective because sending seeds to a lab and them doing all the nematode screening in sand and counting, it's really tedious and really expensive. So we usually run over more than 4,000 lines every year in our breeding program. We cannot send them that much material because it's cost prohibitive. And so we are only able to do the very late stages, only the stuff that has the most potential to go forward, but we have less opportunities to select. We can characterize what is susceptible and what is resistant, but you are pretty much done with your selection scheme. It's very tangible. It gives you a variety at the very end. And so it's very rewarding for me as a breeder, and I hope that for the promotion board, because you can actually quantify the impact a lot easier than in some of the other projects.